What's up? Welcome in. Hope all you are having a great day. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles now right here live on Chat Sports. It's NFC Championship game week, and we're excited that all of you are with us and you're making our coverage a part of your week because what a matchup we have between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. We are excited also to announce that we're going to be doing a watch party for this game on Sunday. We will go live on Eagles Now starting at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time for a pregame show. That'll take us up until kickoff. We have decided to do a dual stream, so it's going to be a great competition on the field in South Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, for the right to play in Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona. Also going to be a terrific competition here at Chat Sports between Eagles Now and the 49ers Report. You don't want to miss our coverage, as our coverage all throughout the week has been better than any YouTube channel out there. Multiple live shows, multiple videos all throughout the week, and our coverage right now continues with another great live show right here on this fine Thursday. So if you're excited for Sunday, like we're excited for Sunday, rapid fire type E in the comment section for those Eagles. I see some Niners fans are in the chat. I see some Eagles fans are also in the chat. This is what I know. Everybody's going to be in the chat on Sunday for what could be one of the more historic and exciting NFC Championship games that we have seen in a really long time, because both of these rosters are loaded with just premier talent. I believe that both of these organizations have done a great job in putting these teams in positions to succeed, to get to the Final Four with an opportunity to potentially compete for a Super Bowl. Joey E is in the house. Mac Dog's in the house as well. I see Davis is hanging out. Davon Curry, hopefully I pronounced that right. Arian Davis, Tony Price, Nelson Marquina, E-A-G-L-E-S, yay. Jeff Ham, also here. L.A., he's sire. The Linc will be on. Yes, the Linc is going to be bopping, no doubt about it. Brandon Ford, we ain't playing. We want Purdy. And we're going to talk about Purdy and whether or not the Eagles have a secret edge on Philadelphia or on San Francisco heading into this game on Sunday. Would you say, Tris? Good thought right there. Yeah. So we do have a good Super Chat menu for you today. We also have a lot to get to on today's show. First, though, where's the Bird Gang hanging out? Let's ask you this question. Those of you who are still typing that E, we do appreciate that. But where's the Bird Gang hanging out? We're coming to you live from the Chat Sports Studios in Dallas, Texas. And I'll tell you what, to see the Dallas Cowboys go early in the playoffs yet again, it makes walking through this city even better. So where are you? We're coming to you from the Chat Sports Studios live from the capital of the choke artist, Dallas Cowboys. The Green Sickle likes those birds. Davon Curry, Texas. Abilene, Texas, from Mr. Curry. Connor Castle saying, go Birds. South Carolina in the house from Jeff. West Virginia, Mountain Mama from Nelson Marquina. Great song, by the way. Boca Raton, Florida from Dennis Designs. Keon Hill is in Philly. Williamsport, Pennsylvania from Mary. Used to work at WNEP. Shout out to the 570. Anthony Peterson, no relation to Doug. Copenhagen, Denmark. Sounds like a great place to visit. New Jersey from Z King. Shamrock, Texas from the Green Sickle. Nate, he thinks that the Eagles are unstoppable. Brandon Ford, also in Dallas, hopped on his podcast a couple of weeks ago, The Ford Show. Make sure you tune into that. I'll super chat $50 when the Niners stomp the Philly fans' dreams, and hopefully that could include dreams and nightmares for Philadelphia, or dashing of the dreams if San Francisco comes up with the win. Connor Sylvester is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Love Lancaster, by the way. Shout out to the 717. We do want to hear from you all throughout the show, so in order to do that, a couple ways for you to get involved. Use the hashtag Eagles, better yet, Super Chat, to get featured on the program. We'll take your questions and your Super Chats in the lead up to this NFC Championship game tilt all throughout the show. And here is our Super Chat menu, one of our sponsors new to the show. It's Athletic Greens, a.k.a. AG1, huge part of my daily process. So if you send in a $5 Super Chat, we'll do an AG1 cheers. $10, we'll spin the virtual wheel. We have a Super Chat MVP wheel from all of the biggest, most consistent Super Chatters all throughout the year, but also an actual wheel that includes challenges for our live show. $20, the EAGLES chant. $50, I will beer bong a coffee because our coverage hasn't stopped all throughout the week, and we ain't stopping here. And for $100, we'll do a little bit of a beer bong race right here on Eagles Now, live on Chat Sports. Busch Gardens, what do we feel about Hurts' arm? Looked pretty damn good. He did say he's not quite 100%, but he's obviously going to play. He just said, look, I don't care about my injury. We just have to get the job done. Coming up next and throughout the show, what can you expect here live on Eagles Now? Latest Niners injury news, latest Eagles injury news, and a bunch of analysis heading into Sunday's tilt from Lincoln Financial Field. So without further ado, you send in a super chat. We do appreciate those donations. Use the hashtag Eagles or super chat to get your comments answered as well and put on screen. And without further ado, let's officially start the actual show right now on Eagles Now. What's up and welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now right here on Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. It's been a fantastic week here on the program. Appreciate all of you for making our NFC Championship game coverage a part of your week. And it doesn't stop here. Why? Because we have some more heat cooked up for you on the show today. Some important San Francisco 49ers injury news. Do the Eagles have a secret edge to stop Brock Purdy? Fascinating stuff on that front. Stay tuned for it. And Deebo Samuel said, what about Eagles fans and Lincoln Financial Field? We're going to uncover all of it. First, though, I have to pass along my thanks to all of you who continue to support everything that we do here at Chat Sports and on Eagles Now. We reached a huge milestone here on the channel of 40,000 subscribers. And if you're coming across this show for the first time, grew up in Westchester, went to Temple, rooted on this football team from the early age of 4 years old, so the passion is certainly there. And if you want to subscribe for daily shows, do so right now. Also, an exciting announcement. We will be doing a watch party here on Eagles Now for Sunday's NFC Championship game. Our live coverage here on Eagles Now begins at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. That's an hour and 15 minutes prior to kickoff from South Philadelphia. It's going to be a joint live stream on Eagles Now and on the 49ers Report. Not only could this be a legendary game and competition on the field for the right to play in Super Bowl 57, it's going to be a phenomenal competition here between the two channels with myself and the entire Chat Sports crew. It is going to be a party because we put the party into watch party. Cannot wait to see the competition inside the walls here at the company and on the field for the right to get to Glendale, Arizona. Let's begin with the latest 49ers injury news here. A lot of notable players on their injury report. Christian McCaffrey hurt his calf in the divisional round matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. Did not practice yesterday, but said there's a 0% chance that he won't play in this game. Deebo Samuel said his ankle is pretty sore. He was on the practice field but didn't really do anything. Elijah Mitchell did not participate because of a groin injury. He's the 49ers' number 2 running back. Jimmy Garoppolo, non-participant. And Ambry Thomas, a depth corner for San Francisco, a limited participant with an ankle ailment. As for the Niners' backup quarterback situation, right now the backup is Josh Johnson, who's been on the most teams in the history of the NFL. And there's a reason for that, because he's a bona fide backup. This Eagles pass rush is fantastic. So if Brock Purdy were to go down, looks as though Josh Johnson would step into his shoes and not Jimmy Garoppolo. There's been some rumblings that maybe Jimmy G was going to be able to play in this game. Had an x-ray on his foot on Tuesday. Kyle Shanahan does not expect him to practice this week or be eligible to play as the backup to Mr. Irrelevant. Now to Deebo Samuel. He said his ankle is pretty sore, but there's no doubt that he'll be on the field. Deebo Samuel in the wild card round had this insane pitch and catch, put on the afterburners, hit a next gear touchdown that went for more than 70 yards from Purdy. Very dynamic weapon who's one of the X factors in this game against Philadelphia because he can light up in the slot, outside, in the backfield as a ball carrier, gadget weapon, and pass catcher. He leads the NFL in yards after the catch since coming into the league as a second-round pick in 2019. So even if he's not 100%, that's no doubt a massive deal for this Eagles defense and their preparations going into this game against the Niners. And then sticking on the defensive side of the football, a player on San Francisco did have some legal issues earlier this week. It's Charles Omenihu, a backup, versatile defensive tackle edge who's actually been a pretty valuable component to the Niners' number 1 overall defense this year. He was arrested on Monday on suspicion of misdemeanor domestic violence. He did return to practice for the Niners on Wednesday. Kyle Shanahan did say that Omenihu will play in the NFC Championship game. Police did not see any visible injuries. His girlfriend alleged that Omenihu had pushed her to the ground. She also did refuse medical treatment, and the NFL has not levied any suspensions on Omenihu. They said that he's good to go and eligible to play as well, but obviously a big storyline heading into this game because of his value to that Niners defensive front, one of the better defensive fronts in the NFL, and that matchup against the Eagles offensive line, a spectacular one with a bunch of fantastic players. As for what the Niners coach Kyle Shanahan said about Omenihu, We're letting the legal process take care of itself, so he's healthy. He'll play this week. We've looked into it the last 48 hours, not only himself but other people. We don't feel we should kick him off our team at this time. But he could cause some problems against this Philadelphia Eagles offensive line just because of his versatility and his quickness. He could play edge, he could play defensive tackle. So depending on where he is along that front, Niners like to run a lot of twist stunts. They like to run a lot of delayed blitzes. They play bully ball up front, and Omenihu has been a big part of that. 4.5 sacks, it's a career high this year for him. 54 pressures and somewhat limited action, although he does see a lot of tick. 39 quarterback hurries, 10 quarterback hits, obviously for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. This is very, very interesting here because the 49ers have struggled against mobile quarterbacks. For instance, Russell Wilson, when he was with the Seattle Seahawks this year against the Broncos, 17-4 in his career against the Niners. They've historically struggled against rushing, mobile, and athletic quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts has a lot of the same qualities and attributes as a Russell Wilson. So if the Niners can't get defensive pressure, or they don't have pass rush run integrity, or pass rush lane integrity, I should say, that's a huge advantage for Philadelphia in this game. So too is the Eagles offensive line against that Niners defensive line. We previewed it just a couple of seconds ago. But every member along the Eagles offensive line named to a Pro Bowl alternate, an All-Pro, or a future Hall of Famer. Like Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson are two of the best to ever do it. Jordan Mailata, fantastic player, although as compared to Lane Johnson, somewhat of a weak link at that tackle spot. Expect Nick Bosa to go up against him. Landon Dickerson, very good in the run and pass game. And Isaac Seumalo, an unheralded hero on this team. Honestly, been playing like one of the better right guards in the sport. As for what the Niners boost defensively along that front, Samson Ebukam, a speed edge who's not really all that bulky. Javon Kinlaw is a bull up front when he's healthy. Eric Armstead, the absolute disruptor along that line. He missed about half the season, but since he's come back, this Niners #1 overall ranked defense has been even better. Nick Bosa, probably the defensive player of the year with 18.5 sacks in the regular season, but no sacks over his last 3-4 games. And then another big matchup here. While the Eagles might be better at cornerback, and I think they are, the 49ers do have the better linebacking core than Philadelphia. Yes, TJ Edwards, Kaiser White have played well this year, but this is a star-studded backer crew for San Francisco, led by Fred Warner, who is the best off-ball linebacker in the league. Dre Greenlaw is playing at an all-pro level this year. Azeez Al-Shire, very fast from sideline to sideline. That's why I continue to say that this is a star-studded matchup between two of the most loaded rosters in the NFL, as evidenced by everything we've broken down all throughout the week. I do want to put you to the test here next up in the comment section. You think about the San Francisco 49ers. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear San Francisco 49ers? Get creative. Bird Gang, we want to see you share all of your thoughts. I'm looking forward to going back into the comment section, as I always do, to see what you come up with. And yes, I do host Eagles Now. I do host the 49ers Report. It's been a wild week for me. Multiple live shows and videos every single day. I have been so busy trying to give you all the best content. And if you want more insight into this matchup, or you just want to talk life, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. Here on Eagles Now, we are so thankful and appreciative of Athletic Greens for making today's show possible. This is a company that is a part of my daily routine, and it means a lot to me in terms of prioritizing my health and wellness. I take AG1 every day, and you can get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I originally gave AG1 a try because given my work schedule here at Chat Sports, combined with my training regimen, as I'm on a mission to run every day for a year straight, I'm at about 250 days right now. I wanted sustained energy and to stay healthy by keeping my immune system strong so that I can strive toward my professional work life and personal fitness goals. I take AG1 every morning as part of my routine, and it really does set the table for the rest of my day. It's helped improve my gut health noticeably. It's boosted my energy a lot, supports my immune system as I continue to stay healthy and avoid some sicknesses during these temperature changes, and it helps me recover since I'm putting such a toll on my body. I've really started to prioritize my health over the last couple of years and steer clear of chemicals and harsh ingredients, which is also why I love AG1 and its 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water, and I love that something that's this good for you costs less than $3 per day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving the Fly Eagles Fly family, get this, a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Head to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out in the comment section and the description of this video. Now to the big looming question and a big rumor out there. Do the Philadelphia Eagles have a secret edge on Brock Purdy, who, since he took over Jimmy Garoppolo, has had this offense moving for the Niners at an unbelievable clip, as San Francisco has averaged 32.5 points per game with him as the starting quarterback? There's some interesting background and insight here for Philadelphia that we're about to get to, but take a look at what Brock Purdy's been able to do in 8 games and 7 starts for the Niners. He's won all 7 of his starts. 16 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He's completed 67% of his passes, and the Niners averaging 32.6 points per game as a squad. As for the Eagles' background on Brock Purdy and some of the insight of them having the secret sauce, Eagles assistant defensive backs coach DK McDonald was at Iowa State with Purdy. There is also another Eagles assistant who was at Iowa State on the defensive side of the ball with the Birds currently, who coached there when Brock Purdy played there as he started 48 career games. According to Jonathan Gannon, he said this: McDonald has, quote, a whole list of things we need to get done to have a chance to stop Purdy, who's made quick decisions. He has good mobility, pretty surprising athleticism, and has taken command of Kyle Shanahan's offense. And the notable record, with Purdy being a rookie quarterback, playing in a Final Four game in a conference championship, there have been 4 other instances of this scenario in NFL history, as Brock Purdy is the 5th rookie quarterback ever to start a conference championship game. The previous 4 all went down with defeats. Sean King with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 1999. Ben Roethlisberger in 2004 with the Pittsburgh Steelers also went home with a defeat. Joe Flacco made it to an AFC Championship game like Ben Roethlisberger in 2008 as a rookie, and the product out of Delaware, the Philadelphia area guy, also suffered a loss. And then Mark Sanchez in 2009 under Rex Ryan also lost his AFC Championship game appearance as a rookie as well. So speaking of Purdy, going up against this Eagles defense, how many sacks will the Eagles have on Sunday? They finished the regular season with 70 in 17 games, most since the 1985 Bears. Let us know a numerical figure down below in the comment section. Now, with this Eagles defensive line, they will be facing a Niners offensive line that does have some weak spots and did not play well against the Dallas Cowboys last weekend. Trent Williams, a.k.a. the Silverback, best left tackle to ever play the game, arguably. He's certainly the best left tackle in the game right now. Aaron Banks didn't give up a sack in the regular season, but battled a knee injury the last couple of weeks and didn't have his best performance against the Cowboys in that physical front, which is what the Eagles also have. Jake Brendel up before this year was a journeyman center. So Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, big opportunities for them. Spencer Burford is a rookie, and Micah Parsons owned Mike McGlinchey. I will say this about Micah Parsons against Trent Williams. I think Parsons went up against Trent Williams 14 snaps, didn't register a single sack, only 1 quarterback pressure. So that's how Williams fared against Micah Parsons. Could be matched up a lot against Hassan Reddick, although Hassan Reddick oftentimes on the McGlinchey side of the line of scrimmage. This Eagles defensive line, I do believe, has the edge over the 49ers offensive line. This is how you can win the football game right here, folks. Get consistent pressure, force a turnover for Brock Purdy. He's only thrown 3 interceptions over his 8 games in 7 starts, so he's made good decisions, but a couple of those INTs were dropped. So you generate a pass rush, and you're also good against this ground game for San Francisco. It makes it really hard for the Niners to move the ball, and of course the raucous environment is going to play a role in this game for a rookie quarterback. Brandon Graham, career high in sacks. Josh Sweat, career high in sacks. Hassan Reddick, career high in sacks. Same can be said for Javon Hargrave. Even Fletcher Cox had about 7 sacks in the regular season. That pass rush can't be neutralized. They're going to have to come through with a big performance. And going to that Eagles sack production, Hassan Reddick against Mike McGlinchey, a matchup that Philadelphia should try to exploit. If you move Hassan Reddick over to the Trent Williams side, then maybe that gives Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham some opportunities to rush from that left side of the Eagles' defensive line of scrimmage. Historic sack production here for the Eagles. I do think that the Eagles' linebacking core and this front here is going to be tested by the schematics of Kyle Shanahan, his creativity offensively, but also just the loaded talent on the Niners roster. I understand that a lot of people are confident that the Eagles are going to win, but this is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a rock fight. This is going to be an all-out brawl, and blood will be spilled because the talent level on both rosters is fantastic. You look at what the Niners have at that running back spot. Christian McCaffrey was finally healthy. Finalist for Comeback Player of the Year. He totaled nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards this year. He had only played in 16 combined games in 2021 and in 2020. Elijah Mitchell, a great backup running back. Kyle Juszczyk, an excellent fullback. And Jordan Mason, very good number 3 back who can be a short down guy, but Kyle Shanahan has really gone with the 2 running back rotation in the playoffs so far. This Eagles secondary, Darius Slay, James Bradbury. What do you got against the plethora of weapons at that spot for San Francisco when we talk about wide receiver? Deebo Samuel is the Yak King. He leads all players in yards after the catch since coming into the league in 2019. Brandon Ayuk had 1,000 receiving yards, and like Devontae Smith, a great route runner and superb in the open field. An X factor, another one in this game, could be Jawan Jennings. Many of his receptions come on 3rd and 4th downs. He's been their money down wide receiver. Ray McLeod is their punt returner, their kick returner, but kind of a Swiss Army knife, one of the better returners in the NFL, but had a 70-yard touchdown a couple of weeks ago. And then Danny Gray, at this point, the mid-round draft pick out of SMU, doesn't really get a lot of snaps, plays more special teams for San Francisco. Darius Slay has been an all-pro. He's been a Pro Bowler. James Bradbury rebounded after getting released by the New York Giants. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, one of your tallest tasks of the season, going up against this Niners juggernaut of an offense that has the aforementioned Deebo, has the aforementioned Brandon Ayuk, but also George Kittle, a good player. Avonte Maddox, by the way, injury update on him, continues to trend in the right direction. You need a player like this on the field to combat what the Niners like to do with their versatile approach. As for what the Niners have at tight end, TJ Edwards, Kaiser White. I wonder who else is going to try to stop George Kittle. Could be an Avonte Maddox. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Kittle, 11 touchdowns after the midway point of the regular season. Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly used more as blockers in that offense. So we just kind of ran through some elements of that Niners roster. I was live on the 49ers Report, and I asked them the same question. I said, on a Madden scale, how would you rank the Eagles roster? A lot of them had said 85, 90, 95. They're taking San Francisco legit. Are you taking the 49ers legit? One awful roster, 100 great. Let us know down in the comment section. As for this heavyweight bout, 49ers Eagles in the NFC Championship game, on the road to becoming the most expensive ticket in NFC title game history. Get that. And the game day atmosphere in Philadelphia is going to be unbelievable. Here's your guide if you're going to the game to having a time in South Philadelphia. It all starts with the tailgate in the K-Lot. You take down some beers, you throw the football around, you play some beer pong, flip cup, you smoke some meats. The K-Lot is where it's at prior to an Eagles game. Then you enter the stadium. Don't get there late. Fill up those stands early to make this atmosphere raucous right from the jump. You have the national anthem. You have introductions every time a visiting player is announced. It gets followed with sucks. For instance, Chase Sr. sucks. They light the fireworks, and it gets rowdy. Then once the game starts, it's an insane atmosphere. I was at the 2004 NFC Championship game when the Eagles finally got over the hump. Their 4th straight NFC title game against the Atlanta Falcons. It's a day that I'll never forget, and honestly, this was me all throughout that day. As for what Deebo Samuel said about playing with Eagles fans on hand, getting loud at a crowded Linc, we know it's going to be loud, but no stadium is as loud as ours. They're at home, NFC Championship. They're going to be all riled up. We don't feed much into that. Well, Deebo, I have mad respect for you as a player. Last year, you had one of the more unique and impressive seasons that we've ever seen. I got to laugh at that, my guy, because the Linc is louder than Levi's Stadium. I saw somebody call it the wine and cheese crowd out in the Bay Area because you have Silicon Valley against South Philly, Broad Street. Levi's Stadium is not louder than Lincoln Financial Field. I'm just spitting facts here. So predict the score before we wrap up this segment. Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers. Share your thoughts and comment below. All right, couple super chats to get to here. 2 super chats came in. Okay. I will make a statement if I am wrong here on Eagles Now about picking the Niners to win 31-28. It could go either way, honestly. I expect this to be just a terrific matchup, but I will put together a handwritten apology right here on the show, and I did make that prediction the other day, and I did follow it up with saying, look, you can type F Chase. That's fine. I understand a lot of people are going to be mad at that, but not every Eagles fan is going to take the Eagles to win. I'm a football analyst at the end of the day. So those are my thoughts and opinions. Lion Fighter LFX. Why can't you do a joint watch party for both teams on the main chat sports channel? I'm bummed you will be doing the Niners, but I'm not trolling the Niners. Actually, Lion Fighter, you must have joined us a little bit later. Let's show them, Trace. Let's show them. Because we will be live on Eagles Now. And we're also going to be live on the 49ers Report. Now, the reason to not go live on the main Chat Sports YouTube channel, I run 49ers Report. I run Philadelphia Eagles Now. So from a money-making standpoint, you know, I want to continue to build those channels, right? It's a great opportunity to do that. And I want to see Eagles fans, some of the most passionate in the NFL, against the 49ers, who honestly, outside of the Cowboys, might have the largest following and most powerful brand outside of Dallas in the NFL, clashing against one another. So LFX, we'll be live on Eagles Now. We'll be live on the 49ers Report, sub-competition, likes competition, super chat competition. It's going to be a blast. The Pass Master with the 5. Chase, I'm at work, but I wanted to say that you were going to be in for a big surprise come game day. Keep up the great work, brother. I wonder what that surprise is going to be. Pass Master, let us know. I know that you're an OG here on our Chat Sports channels. Mr. Awesome Guy, look, I'm going to call it like a national announcer. I'll get pumped up at every single big play during that game. That's really what it comes down to. And how are you not going to get pumped up about every single big play in that football game? It's going to be electric. I promise you, we won't disappoint you. If you want to get on the show and talk birds, here's how you can do it. Hashtag Eagles or Super Chat to get featured on the show. A watch party on Broad and Patterson would be pretty incredible, honestly. Be pretty incredible. Dennis Designs is back, $5. 49ers had trouble with Dallas. Now they're coming to the Linc. Big step up, and I can't wait to hear the fans. I wish I could be there for this one. I wish I could be as well. And as we just got done saying, on track to being the most expensive NFC Championship game ticket of all time. 2 of the most powerful brands in all of football with 2 great histories in terms of their franchises, and these fan bases are absolutely fantastic. Let's show them the Super Chat menu here. We had 3 $5 Super Chats come in, so we, of course, want to make good on that. Every time a $5 Super Chat comes in, we're going to drink some AG1 to stay healthy here. $10, we're going to spin the wheel. $20, EAG LES chant. $50 Super Chat, I will beer bong a coffee. We haven't slept much here on Eagles Now and at Chat Sports getting ready for this game on Sunday. We got to keep it moving. And for $100, we'll do a beer bong race. Trace, I'm going to take a sip of AG1. Why don't you debut the wheel here? Show them the Super Chat MVP wheel first and then the other specific wheel for that $10 Super Chat. It's pretty cool. We have some new graphics here.
All right, guys. Yeah, so this is something really cool. Shout out. I know y'all really want his mustache. You guys really want it bad. But shout out Patrick Seatman for throwing together this idea for this wheel graphic. So what we did is we made a wheel of all the real ones in Chat Sports. So we'll give it a spin, and you can see it going crazy.
These are really our Super Chat MVPs who have sent in the biggest Super Chats this year and the most Super Chats this year. For instance, John Galt is on there, and every time it lands on John, we want to show some real ones some love. And then when you do send in a $10 Super Chat, we can also do this, where we have different challenges on the wheel here. So we'll do one for free since we got the $15 in Super Chats. And it's going to land on 10 jumping jacks. Almost the Delco accent. So, jumping jacks.
This is giving me PTSD.
Remember when Trace did that until we got to 39,000 subscribers? He did it for like 20 straight minutes during that Week 18 watch party. Now we're at 40,000 subscribers. So there you go. Mr. Awesome Guy, how do you drink so much and still run every day? You're built different, my boy. That's the motto that we try to live by at Chat Sports. You got to be built different. I will say during the offseason we don't drink as much, and I really primarily only try to drink on some game days. But there are times after work when we keep the party going here at Chat Sports, and we've had some infamous late nights. But look, you live once, you take care of yourself. Anything in moderation is okay. So we keep it moving, and yes, we like to be built different here at Chat Sports. All right, another reminder, coming up next, going to continue to preview this game against San Francisco, but then take your questions and your Super Chats as well. So a Super Chat allows you to skip the line. We'll answer your questions, your comments, your hot takes first, but also use the hashtag Eagles if you don't want to send in a Super Chat. And, of course, you don't have to, but your donations certainly are greatly appreciated. So we'll continue to get to really the biggest storylines heading into this game against the Niners, and we'll take your questions and your Super Chats as well. So we do appreciate the support. Y'all need a California studio from John Galt. Chat Sports used to be based in San Francisco, actually, and now we're in Dallas, where the weather is good pretty much year-round. Gotta love it. The Green Sickle. See all my brothers and sisters on Sunday. Let's go Birds. Green Sickle's a real one. Ryan Rowe basically comments on every single show. Let's be sure to get him on there, Trizzy. Captain Delberto is here. Ryan Rowe. Captain Delberto is back. What's good, Delberto? Hope you're doing good today. Mr. Awesome Guy. I work with Swoop. Going to be on the field for the game. Wow, that is sick. That is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for what could be one of the best NFC Championship games that we ever see. So $15 in Super Chats. I'll make a deal. If we get to, let's say, 50 in total, I'll beer bong this coffee here. $50 in total Super Chats, I'll beer bong this coffee. Let's do that. We're at $15 right now. Hashtag Eagles, better yet, Super Chat to get featured on the show. If you just want to run intro screen here, you can too. So that makes your job easier, Triz. These 49ers going to choke from Nate. It's going to be an awesome game, man. I think it's going to be a level playing field and come down to a late field goal. All right, let's start talking some more Birds here. Get those questions and those Super Chats in, and we'll continue to preview this game against the Niners. Sunday's NFC Championship game is almost here, and we're going to continue to preview this game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles on today's show. We'll sprinkle in some of your questions and your Super Chats on top of our analysis, but before we get started, just want to thank the Fly Eagles Fly family for supporting us here on Eagles Now. We were able to surpass 40,000 subscribers. This is a huge milestone in what we like to do, and the fact that you're responding so well to it, it's certainly humbling. And if you haven't subscribed, do so right now for free daily shows on the Philadelphia Eagles year-round. A reminder, join us for our pregame show for our watch party on Sunday. It all kicks off 1:45 p.m. Eastern. That's an hour and 15 minutes prior to kickoff, live on Eagles Now. We're also going to be live on the 49ers Report for a simulcast and dual stream because we thought, okay, 49ers, Eagles. It's a great matchup on the field at the Linc between two teams who are two of the best overall rosters in the National Football League. We might as well pit the 49ers Report against Eagles Now to have a competition here at Chat Sports. Subscribe and join us. It is going to be a blast and the best place to be outside of being at Lincoln Financial Field. And speaking of the Linc, it's going down on Sunday. Kickoff slated for 3 o'clock Eastern time. Philadelphia still 2.5-point favorites, but the over-under has actually increased. So a lot of money on that end. It's gone up from 45.5 to 46.5. The weather in Philly on Sunday expected to be pretty good, between the 40s and the 50s all throughout the afternoon. A beautiful day that I really, really like because it allows both of these great teams to be on a level playing field. As for how the Eagles got here, it's been an awesome journey, and it's the best regular season in the history of this great franchise. They started off 8-0, had a franchise record 14 wins. They won the NFC East, locked down that number 1 seed, and in the divisional round, they beat the New York Giants 38-7 in what was a bloodbath in primetime in South Philly. On the other sideline, it's San Francisco, who didn't get off to the hot start that Philadelphia did. In fact, San Francisco came out of the gates tripping. They lost week 1 against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. They lost week 3 to the fraud Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett. Then they lost a couple of weeks later to the Atlanta Falcons, got blown out the following week by the Kansas City Chiefs. But from that point on, they have not lost. A total of 12 games in a row for the Niners heading into South Philly, clinched the NFC West, that number 2 seed, and in the playoffs beat the Seahawks and the Cowboys. And this is a matchup between Philly and San Francisco. South Philly against Silicon Valley against the Broad Street Bullies, that features so much incredible talent. And as an overall football fan, you have to be really excited about this, because at this point and this juncture of the regular season, you want to see the top 2 squads face off. And that's what we're getting in the NFC. And I called it months ago when I said the Niners, Eagles on a collision course to get to this point, 2 of the most successful organizations in the sport, as Philadelphia's made it to the NFC title game 7 times over the last 21 years. For the Niners, their 6th trip to the NFC title game since 2011, and these rosters are chock full of premier players. It's almost like you're playing in a Madden Super Bowl. Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, Jimmy Ward, just some of the players who headline that Niners roster. And then for the Philadelphia Eagles roster, Jalen Hurts should win MVP this year, in my opinion. He probably won't because the nation is hating for some reason. Miles Sanders, more than 1,000 yards on the ground. A.J. Brown, nearly 1,500 receiving yards this year. Skinny Batman, Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith would be a number 1 wideout on many other teams across the NFL. He's more of a 1B on this roster. Dallas Goedert right up there with George Kittle, in my opinion, as 2 of the best all-around tight ends in the league. Blocking, catching, picking up yards after the catch. Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famers. Hassan Reddick had 16 sacks in the regular season, 17 and a half in 18 games this year. Brandon Graham is a Philadelphia OG and legend, a career high in sacks for him. And Darius Slay, an all-pro caliber cornerback. So let's go back to this question. Have you had a change of thought? Have you had a change of heart over the last few days? Who you got in this game on Sunday? Eagles, Niners. Let us know down below in the comment section. We'll sprinkle in some of your questions, and we'll get back to our analysis. This one coming in from Justin. How do you think the first quarter will go? Eagles get out to an early lead or an evenly matched game till the end? I actually think that while Philadelphia started hot, white hot, in many games this year, this is going to be more of a closely contested game where I think each team tries to feel each other out. Now, it won't surprise me if the Eagles go right down the field on the opening drive, if they try to take some shots against the San Francisco defense. I will say this about the Niners defense. They've been prone to giving up long drives early in the game before settling down and making adjustments. That has happened in each of their prior 2 playoff games. Either way, whether the Eagles get off to a hot start or San Francisco, I think that this game is going to be, to your latter point there, Justin, an evenly matched one. Ryan Rowe is certainly somebody who comments on all of our videos, so he is our commenter MVP this year. Shout out to Ryan and congratulations to you. How do the Eagles go from covering George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy? And you also have to throw in Brandon Ayuk. You also have to throw in a plethora of weapons like Elijah Mitchell on that roster. How do you cover them? You have to hope that you can get home with your front 4. And if you don't, then it's going to be a long day. If you get pressure on Brock Purdy, it changes the entire game. Because then the Niners become a one-dimensional offense because Shanahan is not going to want to call plays in which Brock Purdy has to take a risk and maybe turn the football over that could change the tide of this game. You get home with 4, and some of the coverage on the back end becomes a lot more easier. John Galt, another real one. Is Jalen Hurts at peak health? He even admitted that he's not. He said, no, I felt better before, but it doesn't matter. We got to get the job done. I love that mentality, and that mentality has really been constant and contagious across the entire Eagles locker room. Well, Carson Wentz wasn't as a leader. Jalen Hurts is as a leader, and he's really put together quite a special performance this year as a leader and as a player. More matchups to get to here as we continue to preview this star-studded matchup. I'm looking at how this Eagles offense can fare against this Niners defense. You can make the argument Eagles offense is the best in the NFL, and San Francisco has the number 1 defense in the NFL. Who's going to rise up to the occasion? The talking points are going to be aplenty as to who wins this matchup after the game. Points per game, Philadelphia checks in at number 2. averaged nearly 29 points per game this season. Yards per game, third. Points per play, third down conversion percentage, third. San Francisco's defense, as we're about to show you, not great on third down, so that could be a key element to this game. Fourth down conversion rate, same can be said to that last point. Eagles, fourth down conversion percentage, nearly 69%, fourth in the NFL. And then another big one here, red zone scoring percentage, turning those red zone trips into touchdowns. This means that every time the Eagles have gotten inside the 20, they've scored a touchdown 69% of the time. That's an outstanding number, Touchdowns per game, 3.6, that's number one, and yards per rush for the Eagles, 4.7. So you pit that up against what the Niners do defensively, and these two styles really clash in an epic way. Points per game for San Francisco, number one. Yards per game, number one. Points per play, number one. Big thing here, third down conversion rate in the regular season, San Francisco 16th. Eagles, one of the best teams. Red zone scoring percentage, 20th in the NFL. But the 49ers, as the Eagles do score a lot of touchdowns, San Francisco doesn't give up a lot of them. Opposing touchdowns per game, less than 2. That's number 3 in the NFL. They're 2 against the rush, 2 against rushing yards per game, all led by Nick Bosa's 18.5 sacks. Now we're going to continue to take your questions and break this game down, but first, Philadelphia Eagles Now is presented by Magic Spoon. $5 off your purchase if you head to magicspoon.com/chat. Say goodbye to sugary processed cereals and hello to delicious, nutritious options that will power you throughout the day. Magic Spoon is the perfect choice for anyone looking to start the new year off on the right foot with a variety of flavors to choose from like cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. You'll never get bored, and with only 140 calories per serving, it's a guilt-free breakfast option. But the best part, Magic Spoon is packed with 13 to 14 grams of protein. And get this, 0 grams of sugar, making it the perfect choice for those following a keto and gluten-free diet. And with 100% happiness guarantee, you have nothing to lose by giving it a try. Order your own personalized Magic Spoon variety pack and save $5 by using the code CHAT at magicspoon.com/chat or by scanning the QR code that we always show you. Trust us, you won't regret it. Start your day off right with Magic Spoon. Now, let's continue to chop it up here. Talk Eagles, talk Niners. 231 people watching live right now, 73 likes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video if you're enjoying today's show. Telling Eagles defensive stats because this is a Niners offense that is also very good. During their 12-game tear, they're averaging more than 30 points per game. Nick Sirianni made it a point to let this be known when he was asked about Jonathan Gannon after that game last week against the Giants, and he said, look, Jonathan Gannon is a great defensive coordinator. I don't understand the hate here. First in pressure rate, first in yards per play, first in passing defense, first in yards per pass attempt, first in tackles for loss, and first in opponent negative plays. And while those numbers are great, Jonathan Gannon and his defense have to pass the eye test in this football game. They have feasted upon bad offenses in the NFL. They have struggled against quality offenses and good quarterbacks in the league. So Jonathan Gannon, the numbers are great, but if the 49ers thrash you, a lot of those talking points and the criticism of you will come back if the Eagles go down in this game. So I've made it be known that I have a lot of keys to the game here between Philly and San Francisco. What's your biggest key to the game? Let us know once more down in the comment section. Let's go next to Anthony Byers. Who do you think is the best matchup for the Eagles in the Super Bowl? I think that they could beat Cincinnati. I think they could beat Kansas City. I don't really fear those AFC teams all that much because the Eagles have the similar formula of what happened and what worked well against Cincinnati and Kansas City. What is it? A pass rush. Last year, Joe Burrow was sacked, the most times in Super Bowl history. Patrick Mahomes the year before was pressured the most times in Super Bowl history. What do the Eagles do well? They generate a pass rush. Busch Gardens fandom. Busch Gardens, great spot, by the way. What do we feel about Hurts' arm? I thought it looked good against the Giants. He ran the football a lot. He took some hits. I thought it was a really good sign when he went to wind up late in the game, and as his arm was coming forward like this, the ball wasn't coming forward, but his arm was coming forward. He got hit, and his arm dragged down. No lingering injury issues to that shoulder. That's a great sign for Jalen Hurts. Next one coming in from LA. How the hell is Brandon Graham not even a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year when all the finalists played last year? What did they come back from? Brandon Graham torn Achilles, out of season, returns with a career year. Make it make sense. LA, I want to make it make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Brandon Graham should be a finalist. Guys, 34 years old, coming off the torn Achilles, got hurt against the Niners in week 2 last year, basically missed the entire season to come back from a torn Achilles, the worst injury pretty much that you can suffer outside of something like catastrophic neck or head. To come back at 34 years old, have a career high in sacks, and not be a comeback player, that's wild. Like, Geno Smith, I understand a lot of people would have left him at the bus stop, and he had a good year this year. But the Seahawks faltered down the stretch, whereas BG was a critical component. Now, Saquon Barkley didn't play a lot the last couple of years. McCaffrey played in 16 total games the previous 2 seasons, and this year had nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards, but BG should be on there ahead of Geno Smith. Anthony Byers with another one. Who do you have as the X factor for this game? I got the Eagles offensive line holding up against the Niners defensive line. That's pretty good. Eagles offensive line, if they win that matchup against the Niners defensive line, they can simply win this football game. If they get owned and they get beat up, then the Eagles can win. Another X factor, Dallas Goedert. If Avonte Maddox can play, he's an X factor. C.J. Gardner-Johnson lined up against some of the Niners receivers as well as potentially Dallas Goedert, also huge. How can the Eagles also run the football, and will they be able to run the football after compiling nearly 270 rushing yards last week against the Giants against the Niners, who are one of the better rushing defenses in the NFL? Let's see. L.A., another one. And it goes along the same lines as BG. What about the disrespect from the AP? Snub City for Comeback Player of the Year to Coach of the Year consideration, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP. Yeah, Jalen Hurts should be an MVP candidate in anybody's book. Hassan Reddick finished second in the league in sacks to only Nick Bosa. And if his name was Micah Parsons, he might have won the award. Coach of the Year for Nick Sirianni to not be named a finalist, that's a crime. I understand that he might have a talented roster, but nobody really expected the Eagles to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, to set a franchise record for wins in a season in franchise history. Number 1 seed, NFC East Championship, the number 1 record in the NFL. Like, come on, Nick Sirianni's not a finalist? That's a joke. Pete Clark, I think the Eagles are overrated. I don't think they're overrated, nor do I think the Niners are overrated. I think both are properly rated by those who know the game of football. And if you know the game of football, you know that these 2 teams are 2 juggernauts, and that's why they're still alive as the last 2 teams in the NFC. Anthony Byers, last question here. Do you think that Brock Purdy is due for a mistake or 2 in this game? Score prediction. I got 24-17 Eagles. Brock Purdy is due for a mistake, and he's due for a clunker. Oftentimes at Iowa State, he did have a lot of clunkers when he was there and made some baffling turnovers and interceptions. But Kyle Shanahan has schemed things up in a beautiful way for him to keep him away from making some of those turnovers. But he's only thrown 3 interceptions in 3 games, and I will say this, he's thrown some interceptable balls as well. So could the Eagles produce some turnovers? That could be big. Predict the score, Eagles, San Francisco. I said earlier in the week, Niners by 3. I've gone back and forth for the last couple of weeks and all throughout this week. I understand, man. I think it's going to be a great game either way. You want to rip me and type F Chase, that's all good at the end of the day. That is going to be my final score prediction, and we'll see how it plays out. I expect it to be pretty epic. All right. Oh, y'all, an AG little sip with the $5 that came in. We'll show you once again our Super Chat menu. Is it possible to loop this, actually? Can you loop and make a cut? Should have thought about that, but if not, all good. Just let me know. No biggie. Super Chat menu, $5 AG1 cheers. $10, we're going to spin the virtual wheel. $20 EAGLES chant. $50 in total. I will beer bong a coffee. $100 beer bong race. You're good. It's all good. We'll go 2 minutes on the shot clock here. 2 minutes on the shot clock. Dennis Design said, not close, Chase, 42-14. Lawrence James, Eagles 28, Niners 17. Bo Jack said, F Chase, I love you too. Brock ain't going to do much from Big City, man. That could very well be the case. $10 coming in from Elijah Stovall. 24-21 Eagles, going to get 3 sacks and a pick 6. So we'll reset the Super Chat shot clock here. We're not going to go later than 4 o'clock Eastern time. So 9 more minutes max. We'll reset the shot clock here. Elijah, 24-21 Eagles, going to get 3 sacks and a pick 6. If that happens, Philadelphia probably wins. You don't often come through with multiple sacks and a pick 6 and still go down and lose. Now, Elijah Stovall is on our Super Chat MVP wheel, so we'll spin it to see if it lands on him, and we'll chant his name, if so, but also we'll spin the wheel for our actual Super Chat wheel. It goes to Losing Hope. Losing Hope. Losing Hope. Losing Hope. Hope you're out there watching. Don't think I've seen Losing Hope in the comments section. And here's the actual spin to see what we have to do. I had to do jumping jacks last time. Come on. Keep going. Jumping jacks again. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're 1 minute in to our other 2-minute shot clock. You saw the Super Chat menu. If we get to 50 in total, I'm beer bonging this coffee. We're 25 away officially. Can we get there in the next minute? Caleb Clemens, what up? John Galt, Elijah is a legend. Facts. Lawrence James, we brotherly love our cheesesteaks out here. Good luck finding guacamole wrap tacos, guys. That's pretty good. Silicon Valley against South Philly. Sue is going to stop the run from John Galt. Linval Joseph and him going to play a big role in this game. Big City Man CMC is undefeated as a starter. Yes, 12 straight wins with him as a starter. Maybe the 49ers should sign a quarterback. Brock Purdy's played well. Caleb Clemens throwing in that bird. All right, 10 seconds left on our 2-minute shot clock. Then we'll give you a 20-second delay for those of you watching behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll get about a 20-second delay. $25 away from beer bonging a coffee. That could help me out, actually. You know, could wake me up a little bit. We've been grinding. We've been hustling out here. If no more Super Chats come in, we'll gladly sign off and then hope to see you on Sunday for our NFC Championship game. Dennis Design said Trizzy rigged the wheel. Yeah, for it to land on the same thing twice, that's pretty difficult. A reminder, watch party on Sunday. We can show them the graph and the picture there, Trace. We'll go live on Eagles Now starting at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be live on Eagles Now and the 49ers Report. So get ready to compete. It's the Eagles against the Niners on the field. It's the Eagles against the Niners here at Chat Sports with me in the middle. Playing mediator, playing hype man, having a good time. Gonna be awesome. Join us on Sunday. Make sure you subscribe for that, but to also stay in the know with all things birds all throughout the year. We're going to sign off. Next time we'll see you live is on Sunday. Can't wait for it. NFC Championship game. Get ready. You know we will be. Send in a Super Chat. Dennis. That gets us to $35, by the way. $50 on beer bong and a coffee. Dennis, appreciate that. We'll spin the wheel again for Dennis because he did say the wheel was rigged. Now, if we go 3 straight wheels on jumping jacks, that's unbelievable. So let's see what happens here. Let's spin it again for Dennis. Send in a 10. You can spin the wheel as well. 15 away from a coffee beer bong. Oh, there we go. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. That's for Dennis right there. See, he didn't rig it. Trizzy didn't rig it. It almost went to freestyle rap, though. Almost did. It was close. Dennis, thank you for that, my guy. 10 likes away from 100, too, by the way. How about we don't sign off until we get another Super Chat or 100 likes? How about you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video? I said we have to be out by 4 o'clock Eastern time. We have 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Host looks like Brock Purdy's twin brother. Thank you so much. Never got that before. Me and Brock Purdy. That's hilarious. Geno Smith. Guess who beat you in the playoffs? Brock Purdy. 5 likes away from 100. 15 away from a coffee beer bong. 3 minutes left to go. My boy Caleb Clemens, shout out to you. Watching the show. Appreciate it, Caleb. You're the man. Lawrence James, the only thing Brock that's going to be a winner is Lesnar, and he's retired. Okay, I see what you did there. Peter M said nice. Johnny Wad said cool. Johnny Wad. We had Johnny Watt in the chat the other day. We got to 100 likes. Appreciate that. Good job by y'all. Last call, 15 away from a coffee beer bong. Got about 90 seconds left. Swiped. The script is looking good for the Niners. NFL makes more money with the Niners in. I actually disagree. Eagles have a legendary following as well. Reddick will go crazy at the link from Henry. Urace Fisher, Bird Gang. Mac Thorne said, all for you, Dennis Designs. We went live again for Dennis Designs. That's what we do for the real ones. Exactly. The power of the super chat. Jalen Glasshurt's going to re-injure that shoulder. Are you rooting for that? Because that's kind of weird. Cowboys radio host said rooted for a Christian McCaffrey injury, and then Tony Pollard got hurt. So you don't want to do that. Karma. I'm just playing burnt. Anything else in the chat? No? All right. We're going to dip out. Once again, join us for our watch party. Sunday's NFC Championship game. Our coverage starts at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Alexander Harris, $5 super chat. That gets us 10 away from a coffee beer bong. He's making a prediction here. Oh, there's Dennis getting us past 50. Let's go. Alexander. A.J. Brown has a bounce back, 2 touchdowns. Hurts with 1 rushing touchdown. Hassan Reddick, 2 sacks. Eagles money line. All right, so you like the Eagles in a close one. Otherwise, you take them -2.5, right? A.J. Brown due for a bounce back game. 2 touchdowns for Hurts, 1 rushing. Could see it. And then Hassan Reddick with 2 sacks. He had 17 in 18 games this year. All right, coffee beer bong. Let's ride. And then Dennis Designs. Purdy will fumble at least 2. Show him the super chat menu for that 5. We can spin the wheel one more time for Dennis as well. AG1 cheers and a coffee cheers. Here we go. Coffee beer bong. No. All right. So here's your coffee beer bong. We'll give you one more wheel spin, then we'll sign off. Where are we going? Delco accent? Oh, by a hair, Delco accent. Yeah, you going down to the Linc on Sunday, dude? I'm going to be tailgating like 6 a.m. We're going to have the burgers and the brats out there. It's going to be legendary, bro. Eagles looking to get back to the Super Bowl for the second time since 2017, dude. Bradley Cooper, Mike Trout, Julius Irving, Allen Iverson, Meek Millie, probably going to be there, bro. Philly's finest. Delco accent. Purdy gets rattled, falls apart, yells for mommy from Paul. Rookie quarterbacks all time in a conference championship game. 0-4. 0-4. Brock Purdy, this is the 5th rookie to play in a conference title game. Are the Eagles going to make it 0-5? All right, now we're signing off. NFC title game watch party on Sunday. Pre-game show starts at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Earlier for those of you on the West Coast. I don't feel like doing the math because I'm not good at math. Either way, you know what I'm good at? Hosting watch parties. You know what we're good at here at Chat Sports? Doing the same. I owe y'all an AG1 cheers. It's that Eagles juice, and the juice is going to be flowing on Sunday, so we'll catch you then. Peace.